is Kevin Williams here with Alan Majeski and Mitchell Oziri. And Mitchell is the owner of the law offices of Mitchell and Oziri, and for the past 25 years or more, he's had experience with personal injury cases in the Brooklyn area. And today we're going to talk with him a little bit about how we've been generating, or rather helping him generate qualified personal injury leads and the impact it's having on his firm. Hi, guys. How's it going today?
Good. How are you, Kevin?
I'm good. Good. Thanks, Kevin.
All right, Mitch, so why don't we just jump right in? So when you first started up your firm, I mean, that was a while ago now. How did you, in the past, not when you just first started up, but whenever, how have you traditionally marketed yourself?
Well, I'm community-based here in the Flatbush area of Brooklyn, and, I've been here for about 28 years now. And really the only advertising that I was doing was word of mouth. At some point during the development of my firm, I did invest in TV commercials, and it was very expensive, and the results did not pay off. The investment just was not worth the investment, and I stopped that. After that, I then tried some printing ads in newspapers, and again, the results were not to my expectations. The last advertisements that we used for the firm were online advertisements. I used one company for 1 year, online advertising, and
we could just say that there was a big box service, so that was like a mass service, right? You were using?
Yeah. It was a big box service, as you say, and quite honestly, I was with them for 1 year. During the span of 1 year, I think I was able to sign up maybe, and I'm not exaggerating, 2 cases. I dropped them after a year. I should have dropped them earlier, but whatever. And after that 1 year...
Was that expensive?
Yes. To the best of my recollection, it was anywhere, I think it was around $1,300 or $1,200 a month. I believe that's how much it was. And, over a span of a year to sign up 2 cases, well, it's a bad investment. So after that, I signed up with another company for much less, with big promises. I think I was spending $300 or $350 a month. So it's a big savings in money. But again, I was with them for about 6 months. I did not get 1 case, not 1 case. And then, by the grace of God, I mean that with all sincerity, I met you guys. I think I'm with you, is it 2 months or 3 months?
I think it's week number 6.
So 6 weeks, yeah, just a little, about a month.
So in 6 weeks,
now.
In 6 weeks, and anyone that wants to see it, I'll prove it to them. In 6 weeks, I signed up, thank God, I think 8 cases.
Wow.
Great. Wow.
So, I don't know what you guys do. I don't know the inner workings, but whatever you're doing, please keep it up.
And those are all injury cases, personal injury cases?
Yeah, these are all personal injury cases, from automobile cases, pedestrian knockdowns, traffic accidents, to non-automobile accidents, ceiling fall downs, trip and falls, broken sidewalks, just going by memory, lack of security cases in schools where children get hurt. Those are off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, so it's all over, your cases are all over the spectrum, and I'm just looking right now. So it's important to note that those cases, you say you signed up 8, but, it's taken quite a few leads to get there. I think we've sent so far just under 25 leads in that month and a half we've been working with you too. And, some are obviously more qualified than others. Some turn into cases, and then some are not eligible. Can you talk about some of them that you didn't sign up? What, is there still good quality there?
Sure. So I'll give you an example. I think it was either yesterday or the day before that, we received a phone call from the internet, from Google. It was a lady who had an accident 5 months ago, car accident. She already has an attorney, and she already treated, with a medical facility for over 5 months. And, quite honestly, those kinds of cases I'm not very apt to take on because they're a little bit older already, and someone else has his or her fingerprints on the case, and I like to handle my cases from the beginning a certain way. I may not take that case. I don't know yet. Plan on meeting with her next week. So, that's a case that I may not take. I've had other cases. I remember someone had called me from the internet. He was shot, gunshot on the subway, and he wanted to bring a case against the city of New York for lack of security. That's not a case that I'm going to take there. I don't believe that there is any liability over there. Those are the two that come to mind right now. Not every case is gonna work out, but for the most part, more than happy.
That's great to hear. Yeah, and I think it's important to point out that what we're doing for you is we're advertising on Google, and we have a very hyper-focused campaign where we set up a custom page to get people to request to speak with you for a consultation. And the ad we wrote for you follows all classic direct response principles. Same with the page, and that's really how we stand. You're standing apart from the competition as well, because your ad is 2 or 3 times the size of the competition, and we have all sorts of tips and tricks that we implement to get that, stand apart from everybody else. Now, if you were, I don't know, networking with other attorneys, just chit-chatting and talking about these, someone came up to you and said that these, just told you the story that you just told us, is that normal for personal injury? I mean, you said all the other methods before haven't given you a good return on investment. Does this surprise you?
It totally surprises me because of the past experience that I've had, because of the thousands of dollars that I have spent over the course of my practice in nonsense advertising. I don't have any other word other than nonsense. I've wasted so much money. I wish I had that money today so that I can reinvest it with you. I wish, but I don't.
That's one of the highest compliments you could give us, because that's, we appreciate that, and the fact that it's working for you is, makes it worth it for us too, because it's, as far as we know, there's no better lead than someone that, the exact moment they need you, you're able to reach them. And that's the case when you advertise on Google like this, when you do it effectively, especially. And we're not going to lie, it's not a cheap market that you're in. I mean, it's expensive. You're paying a lot per click, but we're able to make it work, and you're seeing the value there. And now, how quickly when we launched the campaign did you start to see results?
I think within the first week.
Yeah,
I think
actually,
so.
It was a good 24 hours. We got the first lead.
Was it? Really?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that was, you had someone meet you in your office, and I think the last minute.
Yes, that was my first case. Yeah, that's right. That was an automobile accident. Yeah.
That's right. Isn't that amazing?
That's fun.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to say, I said when I first met Mitch in the restaurant, which happens to be his first time in that restaurant in Long Island, I was sitting by myself, and he walked in on me. I said, Mitch, you want to advertise? And he said, Alan, I just had so many bad experiences. And I said, Mitch, just let me show you what we can do. And I wanted to thank you for the opportunity and for letting us show you what we can do. And I'm glad that you're happy with the results.
Yeah, That's what I said. It was a godsend. So, and I meant that. It was by chance. By chance.
It was by chance. Yeah.
Yeah, I went in to get my dinner, and I saw Alan there. So, yeah.
What would you say to any other personal injury lawyers that are thinking about?
Is your question would I recommend you to them? Is that your question?
Yeah, don't worry. We'll stay away from
because I'll tell you the answer right now. I would never, ever recommend you and I'm kidding around with you. The reason I said that is because I don't want any competition. But no, but of course I would definitely. There's no question about it. I mean, you'd have to be crazy not to work with you guys.
That's awesome. We appreciate that, Mitch.
Great. Yeah, we appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin,
yeah.
Remember what I said. I've done the whole gamut. I did the TV advertising. It wasn't, by the way, it wasn't a commercial for Mitchell or Zeri. It was like a conglomerate of different attorneys pooling their money into this TV commercial, and somehow they had it set up where randomly you would get the phone call, or Mr. Jones would get the phone call, or someone else would get the phone call. I did that for over a year. Much more expensive than you. Wow. And I got very, very, very few cases. So and then I did the online. I mean, nothing is like this. Nothing.
Well, I have a quick question. Before you did any advertising in a classic referral case month, would you be able to generate 8 referrals in a month, or is that astronomical?
Meaning even through my own referral system with prior clients and word of mouth and my sign outside my office, all of that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you I haven't had that in my office. I have, but through advertising, I've never had that.
Do you think other attorneys have had similar experiences with the negative aspects of the advertising, just not producing?
I cannot say that any of my friends have done this, I've had experience with this because I quite honestly haven't spoken with them. But if anyone, and I'm sure there are others out there who have had my experience, because the companies that I've used in the past before you were well-known companies, big companies. So for sure they've must have had the experience that I've had. They must have.
I'm sure as well. And I think it's important to point out is you really understand the value of a lead too. When that phone rings, you take that very seriously.
Oh.
And we've had clients in the past that don't, and they'll let it go to voicemail. They'll have an answering service that won't transfer it right to an attorney. And I think you have really taken. You do an excellent job in that regard.
I cannot afford not to. Remember, guys, I'm a sole practitioner. Every call counts for me. I can't, beggars can't be choosers, as they say. I cannot afford to let a lead just fall by the wayside. I can't. I have to be on top of it. And you never know who's on the other line, who's on the other side of that phone call. It could be, the case, underline the case. You don't know. So you got to jump on it, and you can't be lazy, and you just have to be all over it. So, and then make the decision. Yes, no. That's how I've been, since I opened up my practice 30 years ago. You just have to. Yeah.
Well, it's paying off right now because it's the way you handle the leads is very professional, and
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Important to note that, though. Yeah. All right, Alan, do you have anything else to ask Mitch?
Oh, Mitch, what do you have to say about the customer service you get from us?
Customer service is excellent. I'm glad you brought that up. I really am, because it's important. It's very professional. You're very accessible. You're not speaking to an operator or a service manager or anybody like that. you're speaking to the people who are handling my account, who are putting in all the different whistles and bells for my advertising, and I get these email updates of who's called, and the way you set up the whole thing with the call rail, where they email me and I'm able to hear the conversation, if it's between my secretary or my answering service or with myself, it's just very hands-on, very professional. I've told you this before. Your expertise are all over this, so thank you. I appreciate it. You're really helping my business grow. So thank you, guys.
Great. Yeah, you mentioned the call rail. It's something we do. It's first off, we're owner operated. Everything we do is created by myself or Alan, and we track everything. So every phone call, every form completion gets tracked down to the specific keyword and recorded. So, not only do we get to use that to help lower your advertising costs over the long run, we use that to, like you said, you get the value in getting the recorded calls.
Yeah.
So if you miss the phone call, you get the caller ID. You get to see how your 24-hour answering service answered the phone. So that's really invaluable when you're paying for those calls. So
yeah, and that's another thing that I greatly appreciate. When we first met and talked, I explained to you my financial situation, how much I can afford, and I really feel like you've taken every dollar that I invest and every nickel that I invest and stretched it as much as possible. So I appreciate that greatly.
Yep,
You're welcome.
We view your money like our own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All
right, Mitch. I think that's everything we wanted to cover, and we really appreciate your time today and you as a client, and it's been a great relationship so far. We want to continue to work hard for you.
Absolutely. I look forward to growing with you.
Thank you, Mitch. Appreciate it. Looking forward as well.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Have a great day, great weekend.
You too.
You too.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.